Good afternoon, students, and welcome to your assignment and examination-based conduct classes for 2022. This will cover your assignment and examinations during the year 2022. Welcome to Investigation of Crime 1B. This is your second semester subject. The scope for the presentation is assignment structure, the assignment preparation and writing tips, how you will deal with continuous assessment, the examination structure, the examination preparation, and what you need to know during the examination. Now, the aim of the conduct class is to prepare students for the assignment and the examinations due in 2022, discuss assignment and examination structures, explain continuous assessments and the calculation of marks. The assignment structure for this paper. The assignment may consist of the following: 4 questions, all consisting of sub-questions. The questions will range from 1 to 20 marks. All questions in the assignment are from the content of the study guide provided by IOL. You need to answer all the questions. The paper counts 120 marks that will be converted to 100. The assignment structure. The assignment, students should read the questions carefully before answering or starting off your assignment. Now, the basic tip here on your assignment is that once you receive your assignment, it's always best to read it through, make notes on what are the requirements, so that you can create a sort of a checklist for yourself. Once you are having that, it will be easy for you to go and search for information. Whether you visit the library, whether you visit the resource center of IOL, or whether you get material from maybe one of the other libraries from the other institutions, then at least you know what exactly is covered in that assignment and what are the material that you need. Because if you just search material on investigation of crime, you might get a lot of different information, and then that might not be relevant to your assignment. So it's advisable, make notes, know exactly what is required in the assignment before you start looking for your information or start searching for your information. You are not limited to the study guide, but you can consult any relevant supplementary information or source of information that will assist you in completing your assignment. Whether you consult serving police officers, investigating officers at the police station near to your house or near to your residence. Most of the police officers are always helpful when students identify themselves as students and that they are doing this subject matter. Collect all the relevant study material that you will need in preparation of the assignment. You better prepare, the better marks you score in your assignment. Look at the requirement from the question, like what is it that the question wants from you? Are they requiring you to discuss something, or they simply wanted to mention something? Maybe they said, if somebody, you walk down the street, you found the body of somebody lying under a tree, on closer inspection you discover that the person is dead. Closer inspection, you also discover that there are bullet wounds in the person's head. Now you look at what is it. The question perhaps requires you to identify the crime that was committed. Now you said murder. Maybe the person was murdered, maybe the person killed himself. So that's the difference. Now, sometimes the question will require you to discuss what you observe when you found this body or moved closer. So there are different aspects of one incident that can be asked in this paper. So that's why you need to read the question carefully so that you know exactly what is required from you. What part of what you observe should you answer at what specific question. When you prepare to answer your assignment, try to summarize information obtained from books, journals, or internet. That's information that you receive from other authors, other sources. Now try to summarize it. Don't put it the way you find it. Summarize it and still, after summarizing, you still acknowledge the person from whom you received the source or the provider of that information, you need to acknowledge him for giving you. If you went to somebody's house, asked for sugar, and somebody gives you sugar, you always say thank you. So also thank that person by simply acknowledge his work. Do not copy your study guide, as the guide should only assist you in understanding the subject matter. Now, once you read your the study guide must put you in perspective. Perhaps investigation of crime, you just hear people are referring to investigation of crime and you don't know what is it all about. Now, once you get your study guide and read through your study guide, the study guide explains to you the different steps of investigation of crime and all this. Now your mind went open on this subject. So how do I enrich myself on the subject? So you go and browse on the internet, you go maybe and visit the IOL Resource Center to look for books that you can read to gain more knowledge about the subject matter. Or maybe you go and read the newspapers and find in the newspaper on a crime scene or a crime that was committed. And the newspapers like to write nice articles about crimes, so perhaps you go read there, and then in this process you gain more knowledge on the subject matter. Now, if you copy the study guide, because most students, you find that students tend to copy the study guide because they sit and wait of the assignment till the last day, and once the last day strikes, students don't know where to start. And then the best option is to go and copy information from the study guide. Without summarizing, you just copy it as it is. Now, the institutional policies prohibit plagiarism. Therefore, you are urged in all seriousness to avoid copying. Acknowledge sources of information, such as your study guide, because it's something that provides you knowledge, so acknowledge it. Provide practical examples to demonstrate your understanding of the subject matter. Now, if you are dealing with an investigation, you can give examples. Maybe there was a similar crime in your village committed, or maybe there was similar crime committed in the street where you stay in your suburb. So you can still provide that type of examples. Now, looking at the structure of the examination paper, the examination paper may consist of the following. It's 4 questions containing sub-questions, a total of 120 marks that will be converted to 100. Question marks may be ranging from 3 to 30. You may be expected to discuss, summarize, outline, define, explain, or analyze specific matters. Questions are from the study guide, so don't feel like you'll be left out. The duration of the now we'll be dealing with the continuous assessment and the calculation. Now, continuous assessment, what we refer to continuous assessment is the 120 mark assignment that you are receiving right in the beginning of your study year. Now, this assignment, you are fortunate with IOL, you only receive one assignment for the year. Normally, with other institutions, you will be doing presentations, you will be doing assignments, you will be doing academic essays, and all this that you deal with during the semester. That will count as a continuous assessment mark. In your case, you only have one assignment that counts 120. So that will be your continuous assessment. Your examination, the duration of your examination is one question paper for the subject, and that counts 120 marks. That will be converted into 100. It's a 2.5 hour paper, so it's 2 hours and 30 minutes that you will be writing. Now, your final pass mark of 50 is required, calculated by 60% of the examination mark and 40% of the continuous assessment mark. So even if you obtain 100 out of 100 in your assignment, still you will be required for the examination to have a pass mark of 50. The continuous assessment, you are required to obtain a sub-minimum of 50 for you to be allowed to write the exam. So once you write your exam and you attain a sub-minimum of 50, the following will be the example of how you calculate your continuous assessment, your examination mark, and your final mark. Say, for instance, you obtain 50 marks in your continuous assessment. Now that 50 will be calculated against 40% because the 100% for the paper comes from 40% from the continuous assessment and 60% from the examination. Because your examination mark that you obtain will be calculated against 60. And your mark that you obtain in your assignment will be calculated against 40. Now, if you obtain 50 in your assignment, now it will be calculated as follows. 50 that you obtain times the percentage for continuous assessment, which is 40, and the total will be divided by 100 to give you the percentage. That will be 20 in this case. Now, if you attain, say, 50 in your examination, and now how we calculate this, we take the 50 that you obtain in your examination times the 60% that it contributes to your final mark, divided by 100, that gives you 30. Now you count 20 plus 30, and that gives you the final mark of 50. So the examination preparation tips, what you need to know for your examination: structure your answers through headings and numbers and logical sequence. Now what simply means is that once you start draw something, I find it hard to accept that if you are requested to draw a man, you will start drawing the man from his feet. In most cases, we start from the head, down the body, down the legs, and then the feet, because that's the sequence that we try to build. Now, investigation, once you have received a crime report, there are certain steps to be taken. So if your examination question paper asks you to say you are called out as an investigating officer to a house where somebody was found dead, your starting point will be that report. Who is the person that is reporting? How did I receive this report? And you look at who is the first person that gives me the report, and you take it from there. You get a report, you go to the complainant, whether it's the child of the person or maybe the wife that comes from work and finds the husband was killed inside the house or whatever. You build your case on that one so that you can build it from the report up to the crime scene. From the crime scene, you build up, you investigate, you build it up to the court, and from the court, if arrest comes, it goes to jail or correctional facility. That's how you build your case from one point to another. So don't come and jump in that you receive a report of somebody dead, and then you take the suspect to the court, and then you come back from court and you start investigating. No, that's not a sequence, so build it in sequence. The other tip is that cheating in the examination will result in failing the grade, in a failing grade. So if you are found to be cheating, you will fail. That's why, as I indicated earlier, the examiners are duty bound or under the instruction of the institution to report any form of plagiarism. So if that's the case, you will be dealt with. Serious steps will be taken against any individual who disturbs an examination session. So no unauthorized material, no technical devices may be in your possession once you are in the examination venue. The head of the examination invigilator will collect your answer scripts and evidence. In this case, it will be like on online examinations, so there will be a report. You will be requested to write a declaration of the incident if it happens that you were found plagiarizing. Because students, what they do is that if it's online examinations, students tend to copy all the things from the study guide or from electronic information, whether they keep it on the cell phone or whether they keep it on memory sticks, and then they copy it into the examination. No examination mark will count for that particular subject. You will be suspended from studies for a particular period of 12 months or 2 consecutive examinations if you found plagiarizing. It is an infringement of the examination regulation to assist or try to assist another student, ask another student for assistance, and receive assistance from other students, or to try to make contact with other students in any way. Now, you find students that once they are sitting, some students will be having material on specific questions, the others are having material on other questions, and then they will either exchange or they will be assisting each other once they are sitting next to each other in the resource center. All cell phones must be switched off during examination sessions. That's to avoid students sending answers for each other. Now we'll be looking at the outline. The course outline for this course and what you need to know for your assignment and your examination. Nature and the investigation of property crimes. Now, which ones are property crimes? Property crimes goes with the various forms of theft. Know the different thefts and differentiate between them, their definitions, how to investigate them. There is a specific case, the State versus Lamini 1984 case. General theft investigation guidelines. There are specific guidelines for theft, because if you investigate theft, you can't be investigating theft of a building that is standing there at one place. So it must be immovable property, and all those guidelines, you need to know them. Essentials of various thefts. The nature and the investigation of continues. You know various requirements, capability, incapability of theft, relationship between theft under false pretense and fraud, the removal of property for use, unauthorized borrowing. Once you feel like it's my brother's what, and then you just go and take it without even him knowing that you take it. So those are the various forms. So now, secondly, we will deal with stolen property and damage to property. Receiving stolen property and its investigation, receiving stolen property, knowing it is stolen, possession of suspected stolen property, various definitions and provisions, know the differences, when is a satisfactory account expected, reasonable suspicion, etc., and its investigation. So, investigation of crimes against the person, differentiate between rape, indecent assault, and crime and injury. Now, these are crimes on the body of the person. So you need to differentiate between the three of them. You need to know the elements of it. You need to differentiate the types of assaults and the definitions of assault, how investigations are conducted. Once somebody is assaulted, whether it's of a knife, whether it's of a stick, maybe it's just a person who has just slapped off an open hand, there are different stages of inflicting an injury on somebody's body. And that is the part that differentiates the levels of the assault. In conclusion, just one more. One fact is allocated 1 mark. Do not expect, after you only provide 1 fact, to be given 5 marks. It is impossible. Framework of exam. Investigators require that you know and understand all concepts and techniques. So you need to know all the investigation techniques and all the concepts that goes with investigation. Number your facts or use bullet points. Avoid dumping relevant and irrelevant facts together. It's a waste of time when you mark, so you might lose out on your marks. Start your examination preparation early by marking relevant notes to study. Follow the instructions closely. Short questions may be included. And best of luck for your examination preparation. Just remember or a note, do not take anything for granted. Whatever you start, try and finish it. Others may not have the privilege and the opportunity that you have. My contact details as listed. You are free to contact me only for your assignment, the questions in your assignment paper, the questions or your examination preparation, but don't contact me for how the portal works. When you need to submit your assignment, you submit your assignment, but it says you fail. I don't have it. I even don't have the contact number for anybody at IOL regional offices. So consult your regional offices in time. If there is no regional offices in your area, consult the Windhoek IOL Center. I don't work for IOL. I'm just a tutor, and I don't have any administrative access to it. I thank you.